Okay, in this video we're going to be making a Lego 2x3 brick, and I've gone ahead and created a new folder. Let's go ahead and start with an extrude. We'll select the top plane as always, and if you've done any of the other Lego bricks, the 1x1 or the 2x2, 2x1, this is going to be very similar to those. So we have our drawing standards for the 2x4 Lego brick, and we'll go ahead and get our depth 0.625, 0.625, and our width, which is going to be 1.25, but times 3/4. 1.25, but times 3/4. And I'm going to go ahead and drag these right up against so that we can see. There we go. Position these nicely. All right, and this is going to be our 3x3 Lego brick from the top view. Now the reason I chose 1.25 times 3/4 is because you can think of a 2x4 as being made up of 4 2x1s. And when we did the 2x1, we did 1.25 divided by 4, which is the same thing as 1.25 times 1/4. So if we were to do that, but um, with three of them instead, with 3 2x1s instead of just one, it would be times 3/4 instead of just times 1/4. That's where the 3/4 comes from. You can also just think of it as 3/4 of this total width is going to be the width of this 2x3 right here. So that's where that number comes from. Go ahead and select OK, and we need a height. I'm going to go ahead and select 0.375 for the height. 0.375. Okay. I'm also going to do this to symmetric so that our center is in the center of the brick. And select OK. Control D to reset. Okay, and here's our brick. Go ahead and put a dot extrude and orient to sketch view. And let's throw a circle on in the top left corner over here. Now our diameter of the circle is going to be, once again up here, 0.19. Get that in first. And I'm going to go ahead and change both of these dimensions to be measuring from the outside edges rather than from these imaginary center lines. So I'll just left click, middle click. There's one, and then left click, middle click, and there's the other. And both of these are, of course, going to be 0.15625. Here we go. Select OK. And our height of the stud is going to be 0.078. 0.078. And select OK. Okay, progressing nicely. Let's go ahead and name these real quick. Brick and stud one. And to rename those, I'm just left clicking to select and then left clicking again right after. And then it allows you to type. So let's go ahead and select stud one. Let's click on it once and we're going to pattern it in direction. So first direction is going to be this way. We can change the direction to be in this way. We're going to want 3 members and the 3 members. There we go. 1, 2, 3. This, don't get this confused. This yellow dot right here is just to click and drag to change the spacing. You can see the spacing number up here changes as I click and drag. Each of these yellow circles is going to be one of the features. And the distance between them we can get from right here is going to be 0.313. So we can either edit that right here or right here. 0.313. Okay. And click here to add a second direction, which will be going in this way. So you can think of this as like an arrow. So it's going to be running in this direction. And so I just clicked here, which adds a second direction. We only want 2 because it is a 2 by 3. And the spacing vertically is 0.313 because they are equally spaced from each other. 0.313. Okay. Now each of these yellow circles represents one feature, and then these are the distances. So we'll leave those alone. We'll click OK. And we have all 6 of our studs. All right, let's shell out the bottom. Just like that, just left click on it. And we can get our shell from right here with a thickness of 0.052. So we'll edit that up here by thickness, 0.052. And select OK. All right, now a 2x3 is going to have 2 studs. So you can think of just chopping this edge right here off, removing that, and of course getting rid of that stud right there, and we're just left with this stud and this stud. No, not studs, excuse me, tubes. So since this is symmetrical about the center, I will just be creating one tube, and then I'm going to mirror it across this plane, create the second tube. Okay, that's the plan. And for this one, I'm going to select this bottom surface right here, and we'll extrude it up to this surface right here. Okay, orient to sketch view, and let's drop some circles in right about here. Now the size of them doesn't matter, just as long as when you're doing circle, for example, you don't have it constrained like this. Okay, see how it snaps into all of these different ones? If you do that, then you won't get a diameter. So this diameter is for this circle right here, and this diameter is for the inner circle right here. Notice I'm not given a diameter for this outer circle. That's because it's running right through the center of actually this stud right here, and this one as well. So we don't want that. So as long as we are able to edit the dimensions, we are perfectly fine. Okay, let's go ahead and get the correct sizes. We have 0.19 for the inner circle and 0.25 for the outer circle. Oops. 0.19 and 0.25. Okay, there are our 2 circles. And now we just need a distance from this left edge, which will be 0.313. Notice it's giving us the distance from the center line, but that's not a problem. We'll just use dimension, left click, and then middle click. We get 0.31 feet for that. Right, and that's all of our dimensions. We don't have a vertical dimension because it is in the center of the Lego piece, and we just had it snap into this center line. Okay, so we'll go ahead and select OK. And for this one, we could calculate what the number is, but the easier way is simply to select to reference, and then this surface right here, and it will go until it is level with that plane. Select OK. Let's go ahead and rename this tube. And when it's selected, we'll hit mirror. Select this plane, and it mirrors it over, and we select OK. Okay. Control D to reorient. Go ahead and save your work. And we are done.